Hi, my name is Delon Scoffery, CEO of Prolific Media, coming to you from my office here today. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to actually talk about associations. I'm a firm believer that your associations are one of the biggest determining factors in who you actually become. Like attract likes. You typically, like I say, two birds of a feather flock together. So what I want to talk about is that, see, just like failure, success also leaves clues. If you want to find out how someone was unsuccessful at something, you can watch, because it leaves clues. Clues are left behind. The mistakes, they leave behind a blueprint that you can actually follow to navigate. If they went this way, well, maybe you should go left. If they went up, maybe you should try down. But success is the exact same thing, because if failure leaves a blueprint or a footprint or clues, then obviously success has to do the same thing as well. And one of the biggest determining factors in your success is oftentimes found in your associations. And so sometimes I like to say that people are guilty by association. I remember, growing up, sometimes I used to get in trouble as a kid for some of the people that I would hung around. And they would usually say you were guilty by association. The people that you hang around, they say a lot about who you are as a person. Because they say that if you take the 5 people that are closest to you and you look at their lifestyle and you look at their income and you look at, some of the things that they do, you're probably going to be about the same. You'll be around the median line. They say if your friends go out and drink on a Saturday night, chances are you'll be out there right there with them. If your friends are not ambitious and they don't really work out, there's a pretty decent chance that you'll fall in there with them. Now, are there exceptions to every rule? Obviously, we don't want to be technical here, but that just goes to say that you are typically like your friends. And so people always ask me, well, how do you change your association? It isn't like you can decide, well, you know what, if I live in maybe the more seedier side of town, I can just go do my grocery shopping on a more affluent side of town, and maybe I can stop someone in the aisle and say, hey, what do you do to be successful? Can we hang out? Can you mentor me? It's not like you have a lot of access to people like that. It's unfortunate. So what you got to do is you got to get creative. There's an awesome group, and I'm a member because I love the concept of the group, but I'm not affiliated as an affiliate in any way. But it's called Meetup.com. Meetup.com is a fantastic place where you can go, you can meet other people that have a like interest or a like mind. You can type in, say, network marketing, you can type in cooking, you can type in singles, you can type in whatever topic you could imagine. There's probably a group of people that get together in your area. So you go to meetup.com, type in whatever kind of groups you're looking for, and that's one way that you can get around some people and maybe change your influences. See, networking is the best way to raise your status. Robert Kiyosaki talks, and I'll paraphrase it. He says, if you're not networking, then pretty soon you'll not be working. Essentially, networking is a way of life. Everybody's in the business of building a network. Television stations, what is it? It's a network. It's a syndicated network of stations around the world. Franchises is nothing but a network of stores, multiple points of distribution. Walmart is a network of stores that distribute a product. Everybody's trying to find a way to network, kind of like a spider web. You got to look at it. So what you need to do, if you're trying to figure out how you can maybe take your game to the next level, is you maybe need to change your associations. So Meetup.com, like I said, is a fantastic way that you can do that. You could maybe join some other clubs, maybe take up a hobby, maybe join a bowling league. There's a lot of different things that you can do to maybe network with other people, find people who are a little more successful than you are, and that way you have access to them, and you can ask them maybe some of the questions, but don't fail to realize that success also rubs off. So sometimes it's not as easy as you just hanging around them and all of a sudden you'll be successful, but if you hang around them long enough, eventually something will rub off. I'm a firm believer in that. Don't allow your failures to come as a result of your associations. If the people that you're around are bringing you down, if the people that you're around are keeping you from going forward, from propelling, from going passionately and confidently in the direction of your dreams, you really need to consider changing your association. And your association isn't necessarily friends, because it can sometimes be family members. Unfortunately, it can sometimes be a spouse. Now, I'm not an advocate for divorce. That's a completely separate conversation. So I'm not saying that if your spouse is negative, just divorce and start fresh and new. That's definitely not the answer. But you have to look at your support system, and your support system typically comes from the people that are closest to you. So if those associations are not doing you any justice, they're not taking you to the next level, you need to figure out two things, either one of two things, or both. A, how can I influence the people that I'm around so that we can all kind of raise our game together? That's usually what most people try to do. You'll find that it's tough. Because just like it took certain things to happen in your life for you to want to change, it's going to take things in other people's life to make them want to change. So you can't expect people to change. But that's one way that you can change your influences, is to influence the people to be better. The second thing that you can do is you can simply change your influences. Again, I'm not an advocate. It's a tough situation when you really what it boils down to, because there are going to be some people that you're really close with today that maybe in 5 years you may not be so close with. But the most important question that you have to ask yourself is this: how different do you want your next 5 years to be as opposed to your last 5? Because you have the opportunity to change them, you have the opportunity to make them drastically different. And so if you're really serious about changing and being a completely different person over the next 5 years than you are today, then I'm here to tell you, brace the reality that some of the people in your life today will not be there in the next 5 years. Let's say some people are in your life for a day, some people are in your life for a month, some people are in your life for a season, but everybody's in your life for a reason. Some people will be around for a lifetime, but one thing you got to know is that you can never let anybody hinder your growth. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it in the long run. I'm a firm believer that there's some people that you can spend a couple of minutes around, and you can spend a couple of hours around, and maybe a couple of days, but don't take it to the next level. If you can only spend a few hours around somebody because their negativity or just their aura does not mesh with what you're trying to, push out into the universe, what kind of energy you're trying to exude, then maybe just consider lowering the amount of time that you spend with them. Some people that you can spend a couple hours with, don't get caught spending a few days with them, because what will happen is that you bring yourself down. And unfortunately, behavior is like a disease. It is very infectious, good and bad. It works both ways. So you want to try to associate with people that have the kind of energy, that have the kind of outlook, the mindset, the success level that you're looking to maybe attract, or that you're maybe looking to just become. And if you can do that, and you can figure out how to incorporate some of the things that help them be successful into your life, well then, by association, you can in fact change your life.